Chapter 1, Questions of Bhargava. Om, salutations to the one who is the cause of bliss, the supreme consciousness, who shines in the universe like a mirror. O Narada, have you heard with an attentive mind, the greatness of the one named Tripura, which the scripture declares as the supreme means? Today I will tell you great and wonderful knowledge, which upon hearing, a human being will never experience grief again. Considering thoroughly the Vedic, Vavishnava, Shaiva, Shakt, and Pashupta knowledge, this conclusion has been reached. Nothing else like this knowledge should occupy the mind. This was established to Bhargava by the Guru, Datta. Even with reasons and realizations richly adorned, as stated here, one cannot discern if the mind is truly bewildered. He is unquestionably struck by fate, like an immovable post. Even if knowledge is directly defined by Shiva, he remains unaware. Listen, I will explain it to you as it stands in the form of knowledge. Indeed, the conduct of the virtuous is wonderfully remarkable and full of superior qualities. Even this divine sage desires to hear something from me, though he is indifferent. This benevolence is naturally born among the good. Just as the natural attraction of the deer towards the scent of musk is inherent, similarly, upon hearing from Dattatreya's mouth the grandeur of his greatness, Rama, the delight of all people and the son of Jamadagni, with good intent and his heart captivated by devotion, became somewhat silent. Then, having expressed his state of mind, his eyes filled with joy, his body thrilled and full, and his inner self immersed in bliss. Joy arising, as if emerging by piercing his hair follicles, he bowed to Guru Dattatreya like a stick near his feet. Rising, filled with joy, he spoke with a choked, sweet voice, I am blessed, I am accomplished, O revered Guru, by your grace. When my Guru, who is directly Shiva and an ocean of compassion, is pleased, even the position of Brahma seems insignificant like grass. Even death attains self-realization from the pleased Guru. Indeed, without any reason, my Guru Maheshwar is pleased today. I believe I have attained everything through the Guru's grace. O Master, by your grace, I have now heard of its entire greatness. I wish to worship Tripura, the Supreme Goddess. O Guru, kindly tell me the method of that worship. Thus requested, Guru Dattatreya, seeing Bhargava's fitness, enhanced by true faith and devotion, for the worship of Tripura. Gradually, he initiated him into the worship of Tripura. The son of Jamadagni, having received this auspicious initiation of Tripura, surpassing all initiations, with the complete awakening of the truth, accompanied by mantra and yantra practices, is the entire process. Having received nectar from the lotus-like face of the revered Guru, Bhargava, like a bee, became satisfied in his inner self and filled with bliss. With permission from the revered Guru and prepared for the worship of Tripura, he circumambulated the Guru, bowed, and then proceeded to Mahendra mountain. There, creating an auspicious and very blissful residence, he became devoted to worship for 12 years. Devoted to daily and occasional duties, always dedicated to worship and chanting, exclusively devoted to the meditation of Tripureshanya. Thus, his 12 years passed like a moment. Then, once comfortably seated, the son of Jamadagni thought, previously, even when earnestly requested by me on the path, I did not know any part of what Samvarta had said. Previously, having forgotten, I asked the Guru about the greatness of Tripura Shakti, which I then heard from the revered Guru's mouth. However, I did not understand anything Samvarta had said earlier. I had asked the Guru about the topic of creation. Then, while narrating the story of the battle, the Guru did not share with me the remaining parts, keeping it in context. I have no knowledge of the slightest bit about the movement of this world. Why has this vast spectacle of the universe arisen? Where does it go again? Where does it attain a stable position? But I see everything unstable everywhere. Why is even generally stable conduct affected in this way? I observe strange worldly behavior without reflection. As the blind lead the blind, resulting in similar actions, so is the behavior of the world observed to be uniform for all. Indeed, my actions here would serve as an example in every way. Surely, I do not remember what happened in my childhood. In my boyhood, my behavior was one way, in youth, it was different. Now, indeed, my actions vary in every aspect. I do not know at all what has become of their actions, in any way, at whatever time, and by whomever they are done. Having understood it rightly, with prior consideration of the consequences, what outcome has been attained there? By whom has happiness been achieved for the self? Whatever action in this world is examined as having consequences like fruit, that examination indeed is the fruit. I do not consider that examination as the fruit, when that action is done again by the same person. When the result is attained, how does one desire another result again? Tell me, for all people always act with a desire for the result. Indeed, the alleviation of suffering or the attainment of happiness is the result mentioned. Within the distinction of duties, there is neither the complete cessation of suffering nor solely happiness. Duty itself is described as the greatest sorrow among sorrows. But in its practice, how can one achieve the absence of either sorrow or gain happiness? Applying a bandage to the entire body of someone who is burned all over is akin to finding happiness through the fulfillment of one's duties. Just as the embrace of groups of apsaras brings happiness to a person whose heart is pierced by arrows, similar is the happiness gained from the performance of one's duty. Just as the hearing of a song for a person afflicted by the disease of consumption of poison, similar is the happiness gained from the performance of one's duty. Happy indeed are those in the worlds who are without duty, dwelling under trees, the great souls, whose all bodies are very cool. If anyone could find happiness in fulfilling their duties, it would be as absurd as a man with a spear wound finding joy in fragrant garlands. Oh, what a great wonder this is! Amidst countless duties, there is happiness here, for which a person always strives. Oh, the greatness of contemplation! What can I say of men, who have overcome mountains of endless duties and attained happiness? Just as a sovereign always strives for happiness, so too does one engaged in begging for alms constantly strive for contentment. Individually, they seek happiness through accomplishment, all strive for the same goal, and I follow their path as well. Just as a blind person follows another blind person without considering the consequences, similarly, the ignorant person, by not reflecting, repeatedly goes to the ocean of compassion, to seek forgiveness due to their actions. Desiring to grasp what is truly worth knowing, beyond the sea of doubt, I seek to reach the other shore by taking refuge in the auspicious boat of the Guru's teachings. With a firm resolve and good intentions, the son of Jamadagni promptly set out from the great mountain, driven by a strong desire to see the Guru. Arriving at Gandhamadana mountain, he swiftly saw the Guru, seated in a lotus position, radiating like the sun, and firmly established there. He bowed low before the feet, like a stick laid on the ground, and reverently touched the lotus feet with his head and hands. Thus, having bowed down in this manner, Rama found Dattatreya with a pleased mind. Dattatreya blessed him and graciously raised him up. "Rise, my dear. After a long time, I see you have arrived today. Tell me about your current state and the events, free from any illness." Then, rising by the Guru's words, he, delighted by the Guru's instruction, sat with a joyful heart, and spoke with folded hands. "Revered Guru, ocean of compassion, immersed in your nectar of grace, how could he be affected by diseases wrought by fate? How could a scorching, terrifying disease afflict me, being situated within the circle of the nectar of your grace? Internally and externally, always delighted by your grace, yet ever connected to your lotus feet. I am not interested in anything else, not even slightly, as I sit here. Therefore, may I behold your lotus feet again today. In every way, I have attained completeness, revered Guru. Yet, something has been unsettling in my heart for a long time. I wish to ask you about a long-standing doubt within me. Permitted by you today, I will pose this question." Hearing the words of Bhargava, Dattatreya, an ocean of compassion, became delighted and affectionately addressed Rama. "Ask, Bhargava, whatever has long weighed on your mind today. Pleased by your devotion, I will reveal what you seek." Thus ends the first chapter of the questions of Bhargava in the knowledge section of the Tripura Rahasya.